live for mission launch. It ain't a Friday if there's no roll call Friday, huh?
Nope.
Well, the line's up.
Yes, sir.
They look good. That's as expected. We'll talk about it on the way up.
Alright.
That's on. Houston, this is Boston speaking. Mission launch for Roll Call Friday in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
It is the day known as Roll Call Friday. How are you, Brigade? Welcome into another episode of the Bostonian versus the book. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault, the book, the Bostonian. Roll Call Friday today with two guests lined up for us today. It's going to be an interesting show today, Mr. Sharapan. How are you on this Friday?
Pulled it off yesterday. We're going to pull it off today on Roll Call Friday. We got a big crowd already in here. Everybody's piling in. We're going to do the roll call thing after the string cheese guy. We got first the Italian guy in Florida, Mr. Miami, Joe Ranieri. And then we got, I
thought we do it in between the two of them.
Uh,
kind of strategically put it in between because Joe comes on here in about 10 minutes.
I have a feeling there ain't enough time. We'll do it after Emerson. We got to leave them in. People got to come in and they got to see Emerson. Emerson got to see them.
Okay.
He starts tweeting. Do you see the notifications on Fridays?
It's always crazy.
It's just it's great.
It's always crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, for you guys who are on YouTube right now, okay, there's going to be changes. I know everyone gets a little bit wonky and weirded out by changes.
What changes?
Some things are changing. Okay, we're adding different features. There's a new feature in the chat. There's new things you can do in the chat.
Oh.
There's ways of doing super chat. There's way of highlighting your own different things. There's all interesting.
Holy cow, you're frozen. You already froze. How did you freeze already? Snap your fingers.
We're good.
Okay,
all good.
You're not moving.
You're not still?
Now you're moving. Okay.
So it's all going to be a little bit of a new deal. Okay. We're trying some things out. I know the chat's already going a buzz. Easy. Don't worry. We'll figure it all out. Okay. It's July. This is when we try stuff. Okay. Before we get to September, then you'll see some different things. But if it works, it's all good. So if you have any questions, you guys can always email askthebbb@gmail.com. The email address is always open.
Right.
You guys have any questions about, hey, I was wondering, why are you guys doing X? And I will explain to you why we are doing all of these things. Just FYI. So everyone's a little bit on the touchy side today in the chat, it looks like. But we'll be okay. We'll have some fun. What?
Emerson just canceled. He said he said he's out. He said there's changes and he's not good with change. And he said you never say you love him back. And he said he's canceling now. Like, what is he doing?
He'll deal with it. I don't know. He's all he's all upset for different reasons. I don't know. He's
very sensitive.
Very sensitive. I don't know. Guy's from Florida, man. I don't know.
Whoa. I mean, don't start with that. We got Florida's going to have sports betting. Haven't you heard? They're going to. It's going to take over the world. It's going to. It's going to be the whole key to everything.
The Seminole tribe's going to own the world.
Well, because that's the key. Like, all these guys come from these other countries and say they're going to take over the world with sports books, and then, sometimes it doesn't go so well. Sometimes they get sold to big companies and hat companies, and
sometimes the state shuts you down.
And other times. The other times you decide to stop paying everybody, including the people that work there, and everybody leaves. And
the state Click. We turn the lights out for you.
Yeah.
Forget about.
They turn the lights out for you. They tell you got to pay everybody, though. That's the good thing. The good part about a joint
Regulation.
closing, which we'll get to later in the show.
But regulation, that's the bonus of regulation. That's the benefit, is that you have a legal entity that will say, oh, you know those bets you took for the last, 6 months? Yeah, those are all good. You're going to honor all those bets. You're going to pay all those out. If they cash, they're going to pay out. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Let me just hit the top.
Okay.
Shout out Brother Dan. Brother Dan, my middle brother between Brother Doug and myself, and second in line of Sharapans, the one in Philly.
Yes.
Had surgery yesterday. Turns out he has AFib, the same thing that got me with the stroke.
Okay.
Caught up in because my brother has this. Let's do a checkup. I'm having a little bit of something. They find out that he has it. He just had surgery yesterday. He apparently is watching the show.
Hi.
He said he usually watches the show when he's working, but he's in the hospital. Wanted to shout him out and say he's good. He had this ablation procedure done or something, so they're going to try to correct the little skipping of the beat of the heart. And
so pacemaker or
no, just it's called the ablation. They kind of it's almost like the way it was explained to me was like putting jumper cables on your heart, zip, and getting it back on the regular. Let's try this procedure and get it back on the regular beat so you don't do that. So, I just wanted to hit him at the top. We always try to shout out our brothers and sisters. You and I, you always made me think of something, and I think of something. And so I thought of it and got the text that he's watching the show. So
appreciate it. Thank you. I've not met Dan, right?
You have not met Dan yet. No, he has not met you, but he texts me all the time and says, thank God you have someone to listen to all of your, all of your shit. Because, I said, don't take his side. He's a big Boston guy though.
Joe was on last night was on Sports Grid. He's coming on here in a couple of minutes. You might be in a little trouble here considering him and I see the world very similarly.
You big city guys, like you big market guys. Joe's a Yankee guy and he sees things differently for sure. And, he's Mr. Miami. He loves it down there. He's been away from the people for a long, long time. So Joe does have kind of one of those things where he just don't, he don't see things all the same. It's fine. That's what makes for conversation. Joe's great conversation.
Yes, he'll be on here in about 5 minutes. Stay tuned for that. Some sad news here in Vegas to start this show because one of the OGs, a guy who is synonymous with Las Vegas, synonymous with the crooners, Tony Bennett, passed away this morning at the age of 96. That's a run, right? Look, would you sign for 96 right now?
Not even a second of thought.
Yeah. 96 years old.
He was just singing on shows and stuff like 2 years ago. He had a good run into his early 90s of still performing. Now, he knew probably one song. Right. I Left My Heart in San Francisco. Right? Yeah. But Tony Bennett was a class guy.
He was.
And you were adding that to the thing. And I'm like, what do you say about a guy who lived a life like him? What do you to 96? And I remember being a little kid, and my mom talking about him.
He was born in 1926. Think about the world in 1926.
Whew.
Think about the history he saw. Think about the world changes, the wars, the technology, the advancements to go from where we were in 1926 to 2023.
Right.
Talk about seeing the world changing fast before your eyes. That's a lifetime of nothing but change. But he had, in the 50s, this guy was relevant. In the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s. It's incredible the career he had, the influence he had. Him and Lady Gaga, the song they sang together
was awesome.
It was like 10 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, that was
like
awesome.
10 years ago or something that happened with that. Yeah. So it is it's somber, it's sad, but it's also a life celebration for a guy who had a hell of a run.
Right.
Had a hell of a run. So our condolences to the Bennett family. But here in Vegas, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of things planned over the next couple of days to honor Tony Bennett, who had a big role in this city. And a lot of things happening inside of this city. Okay, real quick on the Open Championship here. So I have one bet going, and I'm entering into the cold territory again for me. I can't get a game right. 0-3 last night for me, and I took Matthew Fitzpatrick to be bad today because he has been bad. Jordan Spieth in a second round head-to-head. Fitzpatrick's currently leading. I think it's 2 under to 1 under so far here on the round, both on the back. So I need both these guys. I need Fitzpatrick to blow up here on one of these holes. Jordan Spieth's at 3 under par, playing pretty well. But the
Brian Harman, is that him on top at 10 under?
Brian Harman shot a 65 today. He went out there and shot the round that Joe and I talked about it last night on Sports Grid. We'll get to hear he's getting in the green room. So once he's set, we'll bring him on. But we thought a 65, 66 might be out there. And Brian Harman went out and fired it today. So
where's the bad weather?
It's coming Friday. It's coming Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, they said it was coming today.
Yeah, but they kind of did. I mean, the afternoon guys, the late guys might see the tail end of it, the beginning of it. I mean, for the tail end of round 2.
Yeah.
But 3 and 4 is supposed to be when the weather's going to show up. The winning score very well might be somewhere around 10, 11, 12 under par.
Well, that's where Harman's at. They're going to have to go get him.
Right. Or he's going to come back to earth.
Yeah, but you just said the winning score was going to be 10 or 11 under.
Right.
He's
so my point is,
there.
But he may come down to 7, 8. He may have a bad
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah. Okay. I think, I mean, the course looks, if it's windy and bad, they're definitely coming back.
Yes.
There's no question about it. But
yeah,
I didn't watch as much yet today as I did yesterday. I was out and doing some stuff. And we'll talk about it later. I mean, Ohtani's pitching against the Pirates tonight.
We got it.
Yeah, I know. That's what, just teasing it. But relax, just slow down, relax. It's good. Have you enjoyed the golf coverage up to this point?
I don't know. I guess the time is different, so that's hard. The second is I like CBS's. I mean, I like NBC's coverage, but I hate anything on Peacock. Like I'm having a hard time. Like I can't bring myself.
Why? What's wrong with Peacock?
Know.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's a weird thing. I have I don't know. I won't get it. I won't buy it yet. And I'm gonna have to because they got a playoff game this year. They're gonna force me to buy it because they watch a playoff game in the NFL. So I'm gonna have to get it. I don't want to get it, but I'm gonna have to get it.
Oh,
so I don't need any more. I'm trying to get rid of all my subscriptions, not add. I have too many already.
All the time. They're like, Dave, we love the BVB. We want you guys to do content. I was like, how are you going to distribute it? And they said on an app. I said, another app? I don't need another app. I don't need it. Who's going to pay another app? Just come watch the show on YouTube. Tell them every day.
Right.
Like the button, subscribe. We got more comments. We got this. What is the colors on the chat right now? I look down. It's all colorful. It's like rainbow.
I told you changes are coming.
Changes are coming. They're happening right now. Everything's colored.
I've changed things around. Yes, we're adding new things you can do in the live chat during the live stream.
Holy cow. I can't wait to hear about this.
You can highlight yourself. These are all different things that we added yesterday. There's some new things at the beginning of our videos now. This is part of the thing that we turned on last night.
Oh, yes.
We turned some things on. We're going to use, we had a couple of weapons with YouTube that we hadn't turned on yet, and now we've turned them on. So we'll see how they go. You ready for Joe?
How they go? I'm ready for Joe. Is Joe ready for us?
No,
absolutely not. I feel like I just did this.
Daytime?
I feel like we just did this.
We did just do this. Literally, we literally did just do this. Absolutely. Mr. Ranieri, how are you? So welcome back to BVB. How are you?
Pleasure, gentlemen. I know, Perrault, when we left, we were an hour and a half or 2 hours away from the opening tee times there, which I know you said you were going to stay up, right, the whole night, right? And I'm sure you did, right? You never went to bed last night. You just right from in-game live,
yes,
right into the Open Championship.
As I said, if I was awake at 2:30 in the morning, something very serious was wrong. Something bad had just happened in my life. I was at a hospital. I was in a car wreck. Like if I was seeing 2 a.m. last night, something big was going down in my life. So luckily, I was sound asleep when that happened.
But before going to sleep, Joe, Maddie little Bostonian lost a tooth.
Yes.
And it was a big night. Because I was on the phone with Matt, and we were trying to line up the show for today and talking about it. And so he did have, a big event happen, but it was
the canine. It was one of those big teeth. She's a big gap in her mouth now.
What is I'm curious here. With inflation and obviously compound interest, what exactly does the tooth fairy pay these days? Like what are we going with here?
It's $5. It was $20 for the first tooth, and then $5 for every tooth after that. See, but the problem was that, like, when you go out and you have these things that go on, like, you realize at certain places that sometimes the tooth fairy has to leave an IOU. She got an IOU because when you lose your tooth after the sun goes down, well, then you have to go ahead and have an IOU. So she will get it tonight. The tooth fairy is coming tonight.
So she'll get it when she's 16 and maybe allowed to drive the car. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. The IOU thing is fantastic. I never would have thought of that.
She woke up and she goes, again? She goes, I forgot. I lost it too late. So I did a good job of setting it up ahead of time. So I was okay on that point. So it wasn't that much of a disappointment this morning when she woke up and checked her pillow and there wasn't $5 there. So tonight it shows up.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. There was no cash around.
No.
It's crazy.
Blame Jordan Spieth anyway. Just might as well, because he's costing us money right now as it is with this back nine. So just when she says, where's my cash, be like, it's Jordan Spieth's fault.
Yeah, he's the one. He went bogey to start the back nine for us to cost us.
Ridiculous. I wanted to ask you, Joe, to start it off. Forget the golf for a second. The Yankees are home today.
Yes.
They're back home after the West Coast trip. They got Kansas City. It's Schmidt against Marsh. The Yankees, every day, it doesn't matter where they play, who pitches against them. They're always favored. They're almost a $2 favorite. Joe, are the Yankees going to sweep the Royals this weekend? And if they don't, what the hell are they going to do if they lose like 2 of 3 to the Royals?
Well, I mean, listen. Should they sweep the Royals? Yes. Will they sweep the Royals? Not with my money. I ain't going to find out. I can tell you that right now. They might as well be a $3 favorite. What the hell's the difference? Who in the right mind is going to bet the Yankees right now? What is the old saying, right? We've always said it. We don't want to catch a falling knife. Probably not a really good long-term idea to do so. And right now, the Yankees are a absolute falling knife, and I want nothing to do to try to catch them. I want nothing to do with them trying to turn anything around. They should be able to hit the Kansas City pitching. Does that mean they're going to be able to do it? No. They should have done a lot of things at this point. They are just an unbettable commodity right now until we can see them show some semblance of competence up at the plate. I want nothing to do with this team.
It's interesting when you look at the American League East standings because the Orioles are in first place. They got a 3-game lead in the loss column to the Rays, yet the books do not believe in the Orioles. When or do you believe in the Orioles? And if you don't, what do you need to see to believe in them as a legit contender, not just in the East, but to win the pennant?
Well, the biggest thing standing in the way certainly isn't talent, right? Though the argument can be made maybe the frontline starters of the Orioles are not what some of these other teams might be going at in a short series. But the reality is, from a lineup standpoint, talent, base running, defense, the bullpen with Cano and Batista, those two guys were lights out last night. Batista, I think, had a 2-inning save as we were on air last night watching it. They have the pieces. The only thing they lack is experience. Which unfortunately matters these days. And the question is, now with an extra team, right, an extra wild card team, the postseason, it's crunch time. So they're in a battle with Tampa. They seem to be handling their business here. If they eventually win the East, and it does appear like there is certainly an advantage to winning the division. The only thing I think that'll be standing in their way is themselves. Now, they may not be good enough to eventually end up, coming out and representing the American League, but it won't be because of a lack of talent. They have all the pieces, but inexperience usually comes into play early on in the postseason.
Joe, there's some good regular league matchups. Atlanta's playing Milwaukee. We can get to that in a minute because Atlanta's such a short number. I can't believe it. The American League, obviously, the main course is Baltimore, Tampa. But look at the interleague matchups today. At the Mets and Red Sox would normally be a really big deal, but it's not. But the Dodgers are playing Texas, and the Dodgers are a dog for like the second or third time in the last 3 years. We got a guy named Big Business who comes and watches the show. He participates in the chat. He's been just nonstop. The Texas is good. They're going to win. How about that game today? You interested in that game? Gonsolin and Haney.
So Haney, this is interesting, right? So didn't he pitch for the Dodgers last year?
So.
Yeah. So it looked like the Dodgers might have an interesting take or two on him. And I believe 6-0 now to start the second half after the All-Star break for the Rangers. I mean, they're red hot. So are the Dodgers here. Gonsolin has gotten, he's gotten away with a lot. His numbers don't, a lot of luck, a lot of ball bouncing in the right area there, a lot of barrels, a lot of hard hit. But bottom line is when your team scores some runs, you can afford to be a little less than perfect here. So he did have regression coming. It is hit, it appears, but the reality is I think there's levels to this. And the level right now is Rangers, you got way more to prove than the Dodgers do. I think the Dodgers go about their business. I think the Dodgers at anything for the rest of the season, and call me crazy, Matt, anything at plus money. There are, with some of these teams, Atlanta, the Dodgers. If I'm getting plus money, I don't care if Sharapan is pitching for them. I'm betting them. I don't care. It's not like we have sisters of the poor here. It's not like Gonsolin's a number 5 starter.
Right.
I'm good taking the Dodgers at plus money from here on out for the rest of the season.
It's fair. Let's switch to football here because you're in Miami. So the Dolphins, a lot of hype around them. Are they the team? Like, if you were to poll people, like, what team is the most popular in Miami? And is it the Heat or is it the Dolphins? And what's the hype at the Dolphins level right now heading towards the season?
Can we make it clear it's not the Panthers?
No, it is. No, it's not the Panthers, unfortunately. No, but I tell you, it's come a long way. This past run has certainly opened the eye. Got to say, most people didn't even know in South Florida there was a hockey team here until this year. So there's baby steps there. But this town for decades has always been a Dolphins town, right? Marino, Shula, they're icons. They pass down generation to generation. But about, just about 2 decades.
You, Joe? It's a U.
No, the U has been less relevant than the Dolphins have, unfortunately. Although that fan base is steadfast, right? Because every year it's the U, man. The U is give me the U. The U's winning a national championship. They're great until they get blown out like 48-7 by a team in the SEC, and then they're like, "Oh wow, we got to fire the coach. We got to find somebody new." It's rinse and repeat with the U.
Yeah.
The Dolphins, it's a Heat town. To answer your question, it's without a doubt over the last more than a decade now, the Heat have taken over South Florida. So it is absolutely a Heat town with Pat Riley and company. The Miami base, who has been screaming for a consistent winner, some sort of hope, they felt like they got it here with Tua and Coach McDaniels. They feel like they're on to it, that this is the year, and there is a ton of hype around this team. The only problem that I have is I hope they're selling a lot of Mike White jerseys because as soon as he plays a game or two, he's going to get blindside sacked, and he's going to be out with a concussion, and they are not going to allow this guy to get another 2 or 3 concussions this season and be out on the field. The NFL will not allow it. The Dolphins will try it, but it's not going to work. It's a terrible look. He's past the point of any return here. It's one more concussion, I think, and they're going to have to start planning for a new quarterback.
Joe, you're in Miami. Matt is a Bostonian living in Vegas, and I'm a Pittsburgh guy living in Vegas. Who wins more games, Dolphins, Patriots, or Steelers this season?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean,
who can we say it's not of those three? Pretty simple. Joe, say the right thing.
I am not a big
Joe,
believer.
it's very simple.
No, well, it's not really, because I
Agreed.
am not a big believer of sticking a fork in Belichick and the Patriots and somehow just assuming they're going to suck.
Right now?
All right, number one. No, listen, I'll say this. I'd say it's a coin flip as far as I'm concerned with what's going on with Pittsburgh, because I do think in many aspects Pittsburgh's division is going to be more difficult than what's going to happen here. I think the AFC East is overhyped. I think the potential to go backwards is there for the AFC East. I don't see it with Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. The Browns are going to be much better this year. Like, that is a killer division for the Steelers. I think the biggest thing nobody's talking about is no more Matt Patricia calling offensive plays. No more Joe Judge, guys. Say what you want about Bill O'Brien as a head coach, but as an OC with a young quarterback, this could be the greatest thing that ever happened to Mac Jones in his life.
Oh, my God.
I am not sticking a fork in New England. I learned my lesson a long time ago. I don't care that Brady ain't there. The idea that we're just going to push Belichick out to the pasture and be like, that's over, man, retired. He's not the... No. That's how you lose money. I don't plan on losing money fading the New England Patriots in spots this year.
Joe, you were
Absolutely
welcome
not.
anytime on this show.
Yeah,
What the hell just happened?
I'm not buying, and I'm a Jet fan, but I am
Which
not
is
sticking a fork
ridiculous.
in them.
I
Not
will
doing
let
it.
you right to the thing. It doesn't
Nope.
matter how many games these three teams win, because the Jets are going to win, because you know the Jets are on Hard Knocks. You got Rodgers. You got all this. Why
How
aren't you
many
talking
wins
about
do they
the
get
Jets,
for Hard
Joe?
Knocks? I'm sorry. What are the new rules here? Do they get? Would they start 3-0 because they're on Hard Knocks? What are you talking about? As a Jet fan, trust me when I tell you, this right now is as good as it's going to get all year. At
Thank
some
God. Tell
point,
them, Joe.
it is going to
Tell
self-implode. I'm not going there anymore. I promised myself years ago, as much as I enjoy pain, I am not subjecting myself to that anymore. I'll believe it when they get to 10 wins, or what is it now? 9.5? Yeah. So when they get to 10, I'll be the first one to say I was wrong. If they don't sniff 7, you and I are going to have a conversation right around that point there, my friend. And then I'm going to give you the old big I told you so.
Oh, I love it.
It is funny that nobody, some people are, but their unnamed sources are saying, you guys kind of know that Rodgers is taking a step backwards, right? Like, there's just this assumption that Aaron Rodgers is going to be MVP Aaron Rodgers. What happens if he throws a bunch of picks? I mean, I know the defense is going to help him out, but I just feel like everyone is completely jumping off this bridge together that the Jets are going to win the division or be in the postseason. I got to say, it's refreshing to hear somebody say, wait a minute, we're still talking about the Jets, right? Like,
yes.
They still have big problems. And, well,
and I'm a diehard. So I'm telling you that you got to be realistic here. Yeah. Now, I will say this, Matt. That could very well be true. I still happen to think there's a little left in the tank with Aaron Rodgers, provided he limits the micro dosing over there and the mushrooms. But I do think there is a possibility here, and I'm okay with that. I'm not assuming it, but there is a very real possibility that Aaron Rodgers, with these weapons, he's got more weapons now than he's had ever. He's got the familiar offensive coordinator in Hackett. He doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. The young guys are going to be enamored to play with him. This could be, and he's got a grudge, right? He's got a chip on his shoulder. Hard to believe he does, but Aaron Rodgers is a fickle guy. Green Bay didn't want him. They did everything in the power to push him out. He's kind of pissed off about that, and that's not a great thing, because he's kind of, he kind of holds grudges here, and it's possible, but it's also very possible, to your point, this team don't win 6 games this year.
There's a lot of people in the chat right now going crazy. 6 is a little low. That's a little low.
It's the Jets.
I know, but that's Solid getting fired. Solid wins. Solid goes
saying,
6-11. He's fired.
It's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Goodbye.
What's the order of finish in the AFC East then? Like,
it's
what's
the Bills
order
division.
of finish?
Anybody thinking the Bills? It's the Bills. There's levels to this, right? And right now, it's the Bills. Like, you've got to go and get the Bills. And the Bills aren't worried about New England, not worried about the Jets, and they ain't worried about Miami.
Dolphins, right.
The Bills are there. They've got all the pieces in place. I love the fact that, Micah Hyde is back. He's not injured anymore. They're going to go ahead. Von Miller will be back. That defense lost so much throughout the year last year, and they still had an opportunity, of course, to represent the AFC, just couldn't get it done. They're running out of time. Don't get me wrong here. Like, we can't keep saying, ooh, they're so close. Josh Allen's got to take them. He's got to stop the ridiculousness with the turnovers, and he's got to elevate this team to the next level. If he does, guys, he's going to get one. It ain't going to be all Patrick Mahomes. They're going to get one. It is their division, and I can make the argument it's their conference to lose.
Wow. See, I think it's the Chiefs and the Bills battling it out and fighting and talking trash and everything else. And the team that takes advantage on the outside is the Bengals. I think the Bengals have a better shot at making it to the Super Bowl than the Bills do this year.
Wow.
Well, listen, the Bengals have and I'm a big believer in the NFL and continuity, right? You got the entire, maybe the best thing to happen is Anarumo did not get a head coaching job, and he comes back. The guy is one of the single best in-game adjuster defensive coordinators I've ever seen. They are an absolute cash cow in making sure you back them in second halves of games in which it's within a score or they're losing, because the other team will not have any success doing what they did in the first half against them. I can assure you that. Full coaching staff. For the most part, they've got all the weapons back. The offensive line, which they retooled last year, then they ended up getting hurt, but all those guys are back. Couple of secondary members are gone, but again, I have faith in Anarumo to be able to put it all together. They are a very dangerous team, and they're also pretty pissed off that they had to play that game the way they did, how the schedule worked out there because of the cancellation.
Right.
But they're scorched earth, people. They are the most dangerous team, more so than Kansas City or anybody else. They're the most dangerous team. If you like the Bills, that's the team you got to worry about.
So everybody in the chat, everybody watching the show, Joe just told you it's Buffalo's division to lose. Put your final result, AFC East, in the chat right now. A lot of people are going with Buffalo, then Miami, then New England, and then the Jets. That's the first couple ones that I saw. I don't know if I agree with that. I think
injuries are going to tell a huge part of this season.
Injuries
in the
are
East.
life.
I know, but in the East in particular, because if Joe's right and Tua gets knocked out in week 2, Dolphins' year is done. Dolphins are going to come in last place. So it really depends upon some key some key guys.
But what if, like Joe said, what if Rodgers gets hurt?
Yeah, then the Jets are gone. Right. I mean, it's huge. Right.
Right.
I mean, any team losing their starting quarterback, I know it's kind of like a duh comment, but like I think there are certain teams that have players. Rodgers already got hurt in training camp, so we know. I mean, he's up there in the 30s, and then Tua's concussions. We got two quarterbacks who are, I don't want to say injury prone, but let's be frank, they are. So that could be a big factor in both those teams as to who winds up in last place.
Joe, last one for me.
The Dolphins have, to me, the most inexperienced and the most boneheaded coach in the division. I watched him on a number of occasions last year in spots going, what in the world? What is he doing? Like, what is he? He put his team at a disadvantage in a number of primetime games last year. The Pittsburgh game, I believe, was one of them that comes to mind here on a Thursday night or a Monday night, where his play calling was mind-blowing as to what he was doing there. I don't trust McDaniel as far as I can throw him. And in that division with those coaches, I'll believe it when I see it.
Last one for me before we let you go. Are you going to walk the dog today? Have you already walked the dog today? Because you're the tannest guy on Sports Grid all the time. Is the dog close by right now? Can you put the dog up?
Yes. Well, he is. He's here licking his ass right now, but he'll as soon as he's done. Yeah, as soon as he's done. We see you got to pick and choose your spots. It's Lucifer's outside. It's about 136 degrees here.
Same.
But The good news is we have those rain clouds every day right around this time. So we have an opportunity to get under 100, and then I take them for a walk. So, yes, thank you for asking, though.
Very good.
Joe,
Appreciate
thank you for being here, my friend. It was a lot of fun working with you last night. Just look to dig in at some point soon. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate
Love it, guys. Good luck, man.
See you, Joseph.
Oops, sorry, I got him. He was yelling and screaming. Sorry. Hold on. We had to change things around because we got the guy coming on here in just 1 second, and we want to make
Swing
sure
it. Yeah.
Oh,
the cheese guy's staying. Is he coming? He's doing it, right?
I'm guessing he was kidding. I don't assume he was telling he was being serious and being
I
all
hope he wasn't
banged up and upset about saying that he was bailing on us. I don't think he's going to do that, but
I don't think
we'll see when Lazio wants to roll on in here with his cheese and his headphones and everything else. He's yelling at me in my emails today, getting all upset.
I'm telling you, he's a sensitive guy.
He is. My goodness gracious,
longing for a lot of attention and care.
But he is right, though, when he tweets about the fact that every weekend in New England is awful and Monday's beautiful, just the way that it works.
That way in Pittsburgh all the time.
Just the way that it works, unfortunately. It's like, oh, that's great. It's gorgeous. And then, no, we're not going to do that. So no roll call Friday right now. I thought we would do roll call right now.
No, we're waiting. I'm waiting for Lazio, and then he'll come in, and then we'll roll call it out. There's a lot of guys in there doing the standings. One has put the Jets winning the division. Everyone else has put the Bills winning the division. Flip-flopping the Patriots propaganda that you're putting out here every day is working. They're putting them second in the division, ahead of both Miami and the Jets.
Well, okay. I think it's not insane. You can play it out.
Jets.
So play it out.
Dolphins last.
Tua gets hurt. Okay.
Done.
And Tua is done. Right. So Tua's out. They're on their third string quarterback, second, whatever. Now you've got a 7-win Dolphin team, 6-win, 7-win Dolphin team. So now they're in trouble. The Jets lose Rodgers, which is with that offensive line, Aaron Rodgers is not playing 17 games. He's just not. So he plays how many games? 13, 14. So the thing with Tom Brady, everyone's making this comparison to Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. There's a couple of big differences. The biggest of which is that Brady got a chance to pick what team he wanted to go to, and he knew the offensive line was going to be tremendous.
Correct.
He knew he had a phenomenal running game to go and lean on. He knew the defense. He knew what Todd Bowles was going to do. He saw the Bucs. It was perfect, and he walked into the perfect situation for a pissed-off quarterback.
Rodgers didn't do that?
I'm saying that Rodgers had limited choices as to where he could go. And he went to a team in New York, which is really the only team that wanted him. And he had to be traded to the New York Jets.
Right.
They're still working out the money. The money is still a problem right now. They're still trying to figure everything out as to what amount of money is he making this year, how much the Packers will pay him this year and next year as well. So we don't know what Rodgers is making. And it's basically a move to screw over the Packers because the Packers are trying to figure out their salary cap issue. So Rodgers is not doing them any favors. And I get it. He's mad at them and he really wants them to hurt for what they did by drafting Jordan Love. But it's a different situation because the offensive line is not that good. And the NFC South was horrible and is horrible.
Yeah.
Totally different division than what Rodgers.
He picked a division that was very similar to the AFC East, and they're owning it. He went there and had some teams, and this is a hard division. I mean, it's just great. Like, we asked a bunch of people, and I'm looking now.
He made the comment. Rodgers made the comment yesterday saying the window's not 1 year. He's already telling people ahead of time, like, we may not do it this year. Like, don't get mad if we're not going to do a Brady. Even he knows what he's walking himself into. It's not the same situation. This is not Brady 2.0.
It is crazy. These people, you guys, thanks again for being here and putting it in the chat. It's Bills, and then it's Miami, Pats, Jets, Miami, Pats. It's every combination after.
Right. Which is great, which is as a football fan or an NFL person, you have to look at that and go, that's a really good thing.
But it's not, like you said, for Brady Brady went to Tampa and immediately made them the favorite.
Yep.
And 100%. Made them in the running to get a bye, play home games, and get to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
If you're saying that about Rodgers, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's not that case.
Not even close, in my opinion. It's totally different. And Rodgers has to prove to me he can handle New York. I mean, this is Hard Knocks going to New York to do the Jets is the worst thing to ever happen to the Aaron Rodgers story. He's a wonky, weird dude.
Yeah, but they can control that narrative.
They can, but
this is I don't know.
It's a TV show. They want to put Aaron Rodgers. They want to show Aaron Rodgers. Now they'll probably show him in the best light. I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit later on, but like, Kirk Cousins' stock with football fans is at an all-time high because of the quarterback show on Netflix.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone's falling over themselves going like, oh, yeah. Kirk is such a great guy. And even Mahomes just called him the most underrated quarterback in the NFL, which is like, right. What are you talking about? We'll do that later in the show. But this is where you can control the narrative. I understand it, but it's still a distraction. I still think this is right. There's only one team that's ever had Hard Knocks in their locker room preseason.
Oh, you froze. What a dramatic pause. Oh, my goodness. Come back. Come back.
It clicked.
Oh, there you are.
There's only been one team to make the playoffs with Hard Knocks in their locker room. I believe that's the stat still.
One?
Yeah. So it's a distraction.
I would bet the no on the Jets based on that alone.
So it's not good when these cameras are all over you. It causes infighting. It causes a lot of nerves. People don't like it. They feel like they're exposed because they are. There's a microphone in the coach's office at all times, whether they use it or not.
Right.
You're on camera all the time.
It's just like, if you think your home is bugged, you just go outside and talk. If you don't have the conversation.
There's cameras outside.
That's fine.
Everywhere.
It's like they'll be fine. This will be a good thing for the Jets. Won't be a good thing for the fans because they're going to get all this false hope. People used to come in and bet teams all the time to win the Super Bowl because they were on Hard Knocks. This will create a buzz, and we know how it's going to end.
We do? I don't know if we do.
You think it ends with a trip to the playoffs and a loss in the playoffs in the divisional round?
I don't know. So in 2018, they did here's an article that was written about the effect of Hard Knocks and the Hard Knocks curse that had come in. Yeah. Only 5 up until 2018, only 5 of the 13 teams who had completed their Hard Knocks season saw their win totals decline relative to the season before. So they did do better.
Mm-hmm.
They went up, but they went up from like 4 wins to 6 wins.
Yeah.
Like the Buccaneers in 2017 went from 9 wins down to only 5 wins. But the Rams were 7 and they went to 4. They went down. Bengals in 09. The Jets. So for instance, the Jets in 2010 won 9 games. The next year on Hard Knocks, they won 11 games.
Is that when they went to the playoffs too with Rex? That was Rex, right?
I think that's the only team that did it. That's done that.
Yeah.
So it's hard with Hard Knocks around to come in. Playoffs are hard. The average from 2001 to 2015, the average win total for a Hard Knocks team was 7.4. Only 3 of the teams actually had a winning record. So, 7.8 is pretty much the average win total here. That was up until 2018. So that's not with the last 3 seasons, but if you're looking for Hard Knocks trends, generally they're a 500 football team.
That is awesome.
So was Emerson serious about being out?
I don't know.
He may have been serious.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. I thought he was kidding, but it's 11:03, and I don't know if he was serious by saying he's out. Right. I thought he was kidding, but maybe he wasn't kidding. Maybe he was being serious that he's got things going on. It's okay if he does. But normally he's a punctual attendee.
Right.
So no changes.
I got to tell him. I mean, let's go. Gosh.
The changes.
I thought he was kidding too. But
the changes don't affect you.
Well,
so
sometimes, people change. Sometimes, he thinks things are going to change. I don't know. We love him. Hopefully we'll get him in here. He fired up. Who knows? Maybe he's walking the dogs. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I think it's interesting because as football fans, we are used to the NFL being not for long and very topsy-turvy, but the Bills have been such a good team for so long that everyone just assumes the Bills are going to win the division. I'm not going to push back on that narrative. I'm not going to push back on that prediction, but it is one of those situations where the Chiefs, Bengals, and Bills are the three teams that everyone assumes those are the three teams in the AFC, and they're going to battle it out in some faction in some. Oh, he's walking. You're right. He's walking. You're right. He is walking his dog. So I'm 2 blocks from my house. He said he'll be there ASAP. He said, I'm wondering what team takes that step, because it could be the Ravens. I know you don't want to hear that.
I mean, first of all, I'm thinking that you and Joe texted outside of our group text, and you gave him talking points. First of all,
no, not
and
last
now,
night, not tonight.
There's no mention of the rundown where you're going to just blast me with the Ravens are going to be the improved team, and I'm going to have to listen to that. Sorry, Will, listen to that shit all season. I can't. I mean, seriously, can't have the Ravens, please. The Bengals I like the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow. I can deal with them winning the division.
Lamar's not going to
win the division.
Lamar's not. I don't know win the division, but like a team that's going to be Harbaugh's going to have those guys ready. He's been lying in the weeds. They've been trying
the Ravens. I mean, like Kevin's down at the Circa, and he's a Baltimore guy. He's loving this Oriole run. He's back, and he keeps reminding me. Ravens season wins over. Steelers season wins under. We're going to win the division.
I don't agree with. I mean, in order for the Steelers to go under their win total, they have to go under 500.
Right.
It hasn't happened.
Correct. It's not happening this year either
under Tomlin. So I would be really surprised. I think 9-8 is still. I mean, the defense is still
the standard.
There.
The standard is the standard. They're going 9-8
until otherwise. Until otherwise, I don't think you can make that call. I don't think you can say that the Steelers aren't going to win more games than they lose and go 9-8. But they can go 9-8 and be woefully short of the playoffs.
In the AFC, they could. You're right.
So, like, I don't think it's a crazy comment. Like, okay, Pittsburgh wins 9 games. Yeah, Baltimore might win 12. You might have 13 out of the Bengals.
I can't wait to get to these schedules. You want to say the Bengals are going to win 13 games?
13-4 is not that hard. We forget.
Talking about not that hard.
If you're
a number one seed.
It could be, or it could not be. You could have a 14-2. You could have a 14-3 team
in the AFC.
The Chiefs could go 14-3. Yeah, I mean, these are not insane. With 17 games, it's a whole different number, in my opinion. 13-3 was like, holy crap. But 13-4 isn't that difficult in my mind. It's impressive, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Someone's going to go 16-1 at some point. Maybe not this year.
Today's NFL, you think so?
Someone's going to go 16-1. Yeah, I fully believe that they'll have teams that will go 16-1. 15-2 will not be that abnormal for it to happen. It's just how it's going to roll. Once we get used to 17 games, teams will be better off. They'll figure out how to keep them, players healthy and off the injury list.
I don't know. Like, it is so hard to maintain that level in this league. The whole season, though, 16-1, it seems almost impossible. 17-0, it ain't ever happening. Nobody's going 17.
Patriots went 18-0. What are you talking about?
That was a one-time shot. That ain't happening again.
Okay, maybe, but I mean,
somehow
the Pats won 18
Patriots
games in a row.
Every show.
Well, you're saying someone never can't go 17-0. Someone went 18-0. We've already seen it, and 2 of those games were playoff games. So,
damn it.
I mean, it can happen. I mean, you can go 18-0. You can, run the table, and you can win every game in the regular season as well. So I think there's going to be, I don't want to say, a regular, but I do think there's going to be teams that will take advantage of the lower level teams, and their schedules could be very conducive to having it happen and just run through everyone. The one weird thing about the NFL is they keep on sending their best teams overseas, which could really wreak havoc in anybody going 17-0. If they're being sent to Germany and having to deal with that travel.
In week 8.
Yeah, in that travel.
So throw that in the middle and then give them a bye and say, oh, that's fine. You're all good. Like that that does mess up everything.
I know Patriot fans that were arguing, do we go to Vegas to the Raider game or to Germany for the game over there? The flight time's the same.
Hold on. Really?
Yeah, it's 6 hours or 5.5. It's the same. It's the same distance from a flight perspective. And most are picking Germany because most have come here to Vegas already for the Patriots games last year or the preseason games.
Well, I mean, if you've never been to Germany, it's a perfect excuse to go.
Yep.
I didn't realize it was that close.
But it's Josh McDaniels. I mean, the Raider game's a big game. I mean, there's a lot of, it's Garoppolo.
It's not that big of a game.
It is to Patriot fans.
Oh, yeah.
It's Patriot.
Everything is a big game to Patriots.
No, it's Patriot West versus the Patriots. It's the disciple against the coach. It's the guy that was drafted to replace Brady who wasn't allowed to replace Brady. There are so many storylines. There's so many coaches on that staff for the Raiders that have Patriot ties. There's so many players on that roster for the Raiders that have Patriot ties. So it is a big game from a local perspective. But Germany is Germany, and people are going to Germany, so they're going to go watch the team over there. But I mean, that's a tough trip. That's far.
Again, Perrault is in here. Hi, Johnny P. We'll talk about some other stuff later today or after the show or over the weekend. But he just popped in here and said it feels longer than 6 hours going across the pond.
Why?
I think you just did it. Like the flight east, when you get there, okay, and then coming back is when you get kind of wrecked. I think flying west for the Patriot game and coming here, and I'm not working for the LVCA, but we could, as much as we promote Vegas, we could really do it. You can come here and blow it out and then, just take 2 days off when you go back and recover. Maybe it is harder going. I don't know if it's harder going east or going. I think it's harder going east when you fly.
Oh my gosh. Is that crazy? Am I actually going to win this bet?
What?
Wow. Matthew Fitzpatrick blew up. Triple bogey on the 17th hole. Wow.
Did he hit it in the? No, that's 18 where there's an internal.
That's the par 3. That's the hole I told you yesterday.
Right.
That on Sunday, the whole darn tournament could turn on the 17th hole. We may have some high drama Sunday morning.
It's going to be a mess,
with that hole if the wind's blowing.
Right.
So Fitzpatrick, who had been cruising at 2 under par, throws up a triple bogey on 17. And now he is trailing by 1 stroke in my head-to-head bet with Jordan Spieth. He's gone. I mean, he went birdie, birdie, birdie on the front, and then he's got 3 bogeys on the back, but they're playing the par 5 18th. So I just need to make sure that he doesn't double, and then we get a 2-stroke swing here with Jordan Spieth and Matthew Fitzpatrick, and I'm going to start off 1-0. Well, there's a fortuitous swing. Triple bogey on 17 for Matthew Fitzpatrick. Hello. I'm going to take that. I still think you should do Roll Call Friday right now. We're an hour in.
No, we're not doing Roll Call Friday till after Emerson. They're coming in now. We're loading up people. Kendall's in the chat. Hi, Kendall. Thank you, Kendall, for telling us about the shorts.
Yeah.
I just looked up at the leaderboard. Tommy Fleetwood is in second place.
Yeah.
And what did you call him yesterday?
A leprechaun.
Yeah, actually, and Will did a short with us talking about Tommy Fleetwood and you calling him a leprechaun with some tremendous work with graphics and things. Go to the YouTube channel, look at the short, the short, tell someone about it. It's working. We're getting a lot of views that way. Thank you.
Well, the Otani video's got 4,000 views, and that was basically in 2 days we got 4,000.
Yeah, and Will
anything with Otani blows up.
Thank you, Will. Will's doing some great work for us.
Yeah.
So let's see. Kendall, relax. This is your roll call. I'm talking about you right now. You're like an associate producer. You're watching the show and telling us all these things that you see, and it's working. Thank you very much. She's yelling at me via text right now.
Happens.
I don't even know where she's at watching the show. Relax.
Yeah. Yeah. So Brian Harman still leads. Fleetwood's at 6 under par. He's 1 under on the day, playing through the 15th for him. There's a big gap. I mean, Harman's at 10. Fleetwood's at 6. Straka's at 4.
Right.
Min Woo Lee, don't know who that is.
Right.
3 under. And then Jason Day's at 3 under. Cam Young's at 3 under.
Sharma.
Then you have Grillo. You got Spieth at 2 under par. And then a whole bunch at 1 under. The projected cut for this is 3 over par. So Ricky Fowler's at 3 over par. He's on the cut line. He's still on the course. Patrick Cantlay is at 3 over par. He's on the cut line. I have another bet that I put out that I made last night after Sports Grid, which was Brooks Koepka against Patrick Cantlay.
You bet the matchups?
Yeah, second round matchups.
Second round only.
Second round only.
Nice work. Those are great. Those are little silent sniper moves there. I like that.
Yeah. So the bet on the juice today is Spieth over Fitzpatrick. And the other one I played, but I didn't talk about. These are great. Westgate's got some great numbers here in Vegas for the Superbook. I played Koepka over Cantlay and Brooks. I'm trying to find where Koepka is because he's even par for Cantlay. And he's worse than that. He's actually not doing very well. So I it's always fun to watch these second round numbers percolate and come in because it's nothing to do with the tournament. It's just the second round.
Second time this week you've used the word percolate.
Percolate
instead of percolate.
Percolate. It's percolate. John Rahm, 1 under par for John Rahm today. Not bad for John Rahm on the course. I'm liking this course more and more if the weather rolls in, because we may see some big. Okay, he's at 1 over par for Koepka. He's still on the course, and then I got to see where Patrick.
Let me take another moment right now to recognize Kendall's recognition of LeBron changing his number
to 23.
She said she missed it last show when I said she was right. LeBron's changing his number. She's the one that told me. And not that I dismissed it, but I dismissed how she would even know that. And she's the one that told me about that podcast that we're going to get in touch with those guys. Yeah. Right. So I just had to recognize right now. She said, can you tell the brigade that I was right about LeBron changing his number? Yes, Kendall. Yes. When does school start?
Yes.
We got our first email, Perrault, about the 4th grade orientation day.
Good for you. I'm waiting for that. We got that. School uniforms are getting bought today. We're buying school uniforms today. That's how close we are.
That's unbelievable. That's too soon.
We're buying school uniforms today. I see Emerson getting ready, so we'll bring on the string cheese.
Is he all sweaty? Is he all sweaty?
A little. What's the name of that? The String Cheese Incident, right? That's that band, right? That jam band.
I think so.
Right? The string.
Put it in the chat. Somebody got to know.
It's either the String Cheese Incident or there's a word before String Cheese Incident. But I know in college that was a band that everybody liked to go to. All the fish heads and the dead heads and all those people that like to go do that.
Another one. Just start watching right now and start logging right now.
Why?
Because Emerson's coming in. He's coming in hot. He was out sweating, working. I don't know if he was working out, but he called himself a thirst trap and all this other.
Oh yeah, he did. He was taking pictures, shirtless pictures on bikes. He was all in.
He does that thing where you hold it high and look nice and get the traps all like this. I saw what he did. I see him working. I know what he's doing.
Stop
Let's
it.
Get
knock
him
that
on
shit. Knock that shit off. That's bullshit, dude. You saw my traps, which are naturally like big. There was a time back in the day I was like 13, just starting to lift weights. All I did was shrugs. That's seriously why they're big. No one takes more fucking shirtless pics than this guy, Matt. Yeah,
well, but there was a reason for it. But hold on, it's all over now. There was a reason for it.
I know.
Look at my Instagram. There's a reason for
your
it.
move.
After there's been none.
Hold on. You two have to work this out right now. I'm just going to sit back, okay? Because listen, Emerson. You start. All right, and clear the air, and then let Matt figure it out and work it out. You react right now. I'm just going to put my listening glasses on.
What are we
and give you the floor because
I'm confused. What are we figuring out exactly?
All this I agree. He don't tell you this and that. Emerson, speak your piece, sir. Go ahead.
I agree. I agree with Dave here. I feel like something is going on between us, Matt. I feel like there is some kind of tension, whether it's sexual or not. We can figure that out at another time. But you didn't really call me or text me when you came to town, and we had told the BVB brigade.
Wait, Matthew, lie. Let him get it out.
But he's lying.
Keep going, Emerson.
Will you let me finish so it doesn't appear to be a lie?
No, please hold on,
okay.
Matthew. Let him finish. Emerson, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
go ahead.
It rolls around to like 6:00 that night, the day we were supposed to hang out and go out. We're going to take him to his.
Yes, go ahead.
We're going to take him to his favorite bar, the Speakeasy that he had mentioned multiple times before in my previous appearance.
Yes.
I finally slide into his text. I said, big man, let's go, dude. Let's go. Let's do this thing. Let's spend some time together. We love one another. And then you're like, bro, I'm already like out, like my father-in-law or whatever. Like
he's going to explain this. Lazia, hold on now. Let Matthew interject here because this is a perfect time for him to explain what happened because it wasn't a personal thing with you.
Of course not. I know how much he loves me.
Tell him. Yes, Perrault, tell him, please. Tell him.
Your text at 3:00 was, I've been on calls and meetings most of the afternoon, took the girls to the vet too. So you were running around like crazy. I was running around like crazy. I, in that morning, was told, we have to go to Maine tonight. And I said, why? Because the traffic is going to be absolutely brutal. We've got to beat the traffic. So we're going to leave tonight. So I had to go up there, and I was already in Maine when you sent that text message in which I wrote back to you, so sorry, had to run up. You know how trips are when you go home to Florida.
I do. Listen,
your times are all messed up. You know where you're going. Your family's jerking you around. Everyone wants to see you. Everybody has like, what are you doing? You're going to Boston. You're going to go see a DraftKings guy while you're going to go out drinking while you're at home. My mother was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm going out with a friend. She's like, no, you're not. You're going to Maine with us now. It was my thing.
Mama
was
got
mad.
Listen, in the end, because I take the high road and I care about you and us, and I care about Dave, I care about the BVB brigade.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm it's all forgiven. I can forget.
Good.
I can forget.
But here's what we're gonna do. When you come to Vegas, I will buy your drinks for a whole night when you come here. Drinks will be on me.
You got a free night on us.
Drinks will be on me to make up for it because I did bail. We had made plans. I talked to you about it, and I had planned to be out. Drinks on me. Because I'm assuming you're coming to Vegas, right? In February, right?
I'll be in Vegas definitely for Super Bowl. I hope to be there before then for maybe another work project. We'll have to feel that out. Roger Long says in the chat, Emerson, don't feel special. Raj, I love you. I was just crushed. That's all, dude. That's all. I was just crushed because you and I were going to have a good time because I knew you were coming off this like ridiculous diet.
Yes.
You were all shredded. So I was going to stuff your fucking face with like fried cheese, lobster rolls. You know, we could have broken out the beer funnel. We could have done anything you wanted to do and just get lost in each other's eyes.
Right.
It's all good. We will have
my parents would have crushed me. My mother would have been like, where the hell are you? What are you doing? It was well,
like, you would put me on the phone with her and I would handle all of that.
You didn't want that. You didn't want that. Mama P, don't play. Like,
you don't want to deal with 100%.
Neither do I.
She's half Sicilian, half Florentine. She is coming with both barrels.
Yeah, it's no joke. It was no joke. I get the text from you. So now I'll just mediate and then we'll move on. But I get the text from you. Your boy blew me off. And I'm like, what happened? And I'm on the air doing my thing and this and that. And so then I text him later. I text Perrault and I say, what happened?
You called me and I said, I'm in Maine. You said, where are you? I go, I'm in Maine.
Emerson, I immediately, that's right. I didn't even text him. I called him. I said, where are you? What happened with Emerson? Because I was genuinely concerned. He's like, you know how these things go. My father-in-law in the morning woke up and
stepfather, but yes.
Yeah.
I'm not married anymore.
Right. He said, we got to go right now. And Mama P said, we're going tonight. And there was Matt was just a passenger in the car. It wasn't like he had his own car and said, I'll come up later. I'm going to hang out. So it wasn't a personal thing. And when I found that out later, I texted you. I said, everything's fine. Relax.
Yes.
You were a little hurt. I mean, but
we're coming back. Here's the thing, too. We might be coming back for a show live in Boston in September.
Okay. So we might September, as in like a month from now?
As in like,
buddy, guys.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So and I'll be coming in for a work trip. We'll be staying in the city.
My nipples are hard thinking about that. Dave, are you coming too?
Yes, he is. Yes. We're staying.
God.
We're staying in the city. Okay. When and if we pull this off, we're staying in the city. So there is no family obligation. I won't even really see my family because we're going to come in for 2 nights, land, go work, and fly back out. They're going to have to come to me because I'll be in Boston.
Right.
And you will be able to have us essentially until the sun comes up.
Yes.
Oh, guys, and we can stay up till the sun comes up. Let's go. Big Daddy E. Bro, just us like at 1 a.m. completely stoned out of our minds, and I'm like, here.
Oh,
some
give
of
me
these.
some. Oh,
Let's
give me
go.
some.
I said, Dave,
Oh.
I throw this across the room. You're passed out on the couch, Dave, because you're definitely passing out first. And this thing just sticks to your face.
Oh, just right here.
Just runs down your naked body.
Naked, please. Emerson, we had people in the chat who were saying that they would be more than up to joining us with you for a brigade meetup party.
Bro, imagine. Because I will say this. I had major FOMO when you guys had like your event and like all the kick-ass members of the BVB brigade were like photoshopping me into all of those pics. And I'm like, there is nowhere else on this earth right now. Someone put a gun to my head and said, you know, at that time of your event, where would you want to go? You have to pick a place right now. I'd say, I want to be with the BVB brigade and you two schmucks by that pool hanging out.
Yeah.
And now, dude, guys, don't crush me. This needs to happen now in September.
It's all in the works. The exact date and time will tell you everything out. We're still trying to figure some things out.
You're on the show. Like you're going to if we pull this off, you're one of the featured guests, if not the only featured guest.
Let's go, dude.
You know, we just sit down, we do the whole thing. We talk about whatever you want. And you kind of, then after the show, we're riding with, would you call yourself Big Daddy E? I love that.
I mean, I didn't come up with that. My roommate did.
Oh,
do you know, if you know what I mean?
Jeez.
Let's go, Dave.
Yes, sir.
That'll be what your mother-in-law's calling me when I stay with you in Vegas.
My goodness.
Well, I told you we got to clear that. I said that they watched the show and you talked about the assless chaps and they think you might actually do it. That's the problem,
buddy. I will do it.
I know. This is grandma's.
You could. I mean, no joke though. If you do need somewhere to stay, you can stay with me. Just FYI.
I mean, if I'm there for work, I mean, DK will shell out. DraftKings will shell out. They'll put me. I don't know where's the VSiN Studios at Circa.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they'll probably put me up there or something like that. But
no,
I mean, we're hanging out. Then. But I mean, we can hopefully plan that more in September.
There.
Yeah,
we might see you there. Actually,
is it? Can I ask you guys? Is it a sad day in Vegas with Tony Bennett passing away?
We led the show with it.
Literally just started the show with it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a somber day. Yeah. I mean, it's one of the legends. But 96, would you sign up for 96 right now?
I think so. I don't know, man.
Is that too long?
It may be too long. There's no way I make it like that long. Plus, you're like, when you hit 96, aren't you kind of suffering the last like few years and stuff? I don't really know.
Yeah. It depends.
The way you look tonight by his rendition of that was our first dance song. So like when that happened this morning, my wife and I were like, oh shit, like this legit sucks. Cause like he played a role like in our wedding day, like a little more than 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Anywho, I didn't mean to like bring it down. I give
you pick that
whatever you need me to do.
Did you pick that song or did she pick that song?
She was like, I kind of like this song and I liked the Tony Bennett version of it. And you know me, I just kind of roll with the punches. Like,
right.
You guys know the drill.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Oh no.
Yeah. It was
don't stand in the way of that.
Yeah. Perrault's on a mission now. Perrault has one person that he answers to right now. Him,
me,
and the little one. The little one.
Still me.
That's it. That's it.
Still me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Matt, did you lose a tooth? Did I hear you guys talk about that earlier?
My daughter lost a tooth. Oh. Yeah, she lost a tooth. I had to, and then the tooth fairy had to do an IOU. So it was one of those things where tooth fairy the tooth came out very late. It came out at 10:30 last night. So it came out very late. So tonight she will get her $5 tonight with the tooth fairy's appearance.
Bro, when I had this on in the background earlier, and I'm just being husband of the year, like folding clothes and shit around the apartment and then walking my dogs. I heard you mention that, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude lost a fucking tooth."
Oh no, not me! Thank goodness. Oh my gosh, could you imagine me? Yikes! No, thank you. Let's not do that. I'm not.
He loses a pen and he gets crazy and upset. He loses a tooth. It's all over. Can't have Perrault losing no teeth.
Wait,
so did you walk the dogs far today? Like, what was the routine when you walked the dogs?
Let me tell you guys something. The reason at almost 40 that I have this feminine figure, this shrine of a body, is because I walk, and I'm not kidding you. I walk close to 7 to 8 miles a day with my dogs.
Whoa.
I do like close to 1.5 miles to 2 miles. First thing immediately you get up in the morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock. This is information everybody needs to know. And then like lunchtime walk just now was 1.5 miles. Cut it short because I said, ladies, sorry, I got to get in here and I got to do the pod. And you know exactly what fucking pod I'm talking about being
That's
a
right.
Friday. And I would have been here closer to on time, but about a block from my apartment, guy gets out of his car. Huge dude. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, what's going on?
Oh, no.
And he's like, dude, hey, I used to have Springer Spaniels. I said, that's awesome, man. I have a couple of them right now. And if you're going to stop me and compliment my dogs, I'm going to give you the time of day.
Okay.
And so we learned a little bit about like each other. And then I got in here. And it's really good to be here. And thank you for including me in your Friday show.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for wanting to be a part of it, interacting. It means a lot to us. Before we let you go, I do have a sports question for you because the Yankees are in last place.
Yeah. I'm going tonight. I'm going to the Mets Red Sox game.
Are
tonight.
you really?
I'm on the Red Sox money line. So go get me a W, please.
I'm going to be a little loosey-goosey tonight. If anyone's there, let's like meet up and hang out. And we could take out a small loan to afford beers inside Fenway.
Right. What is the feeling amongst the locals that the Red Sox aren't great, but the Yankees are worse? Does that make it any better that the Red Sox aren't, really in contention?
I don't know, dude, because the Red Sox have just been like so mid, like you win like a 3-game series, you go on this run. Let's just, for example, like, you win 6 out of 7 games. And next thing you know, you're losing like 2 out of 3 to the A's. And sure, you can look at the Yankees, say, hello, like down there.
Right.
But at the same time, the amount of injuries the Yankees have like dealt with. And Jared brought this up the other day. When are we going to start talking about Aaron Judge like we do with Mike Trout? And what he meant by that was a dude who kind of signed away like his career to stay with like a shitty or mid team just to take every single dollar. You know what I mean? Like it was his choice to do that because dude, that team without Aaron Judge, and we saw this last year, it's like historic season when he missed like a month. That team is so fucking bad, yet they're in last place in the AL East and they have more wins than the first place team in the AL Central. So let me ask you guys this. I threw this out on the show earlier this week. Who finishes the season with more wins? Last place in the AL East or first place in the AL Central? What do you think, Matt?
What a great question.
The guys at WinBet.
I came up with that myself.
The guys at WinBet put that up.
They did.
The guys at WinBet.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, they thought of it
between Lindemann and Mo. They put that up. What do you think the favorite is there?
The American League East team?
I would say the same thing. No?
Oh,
No.
wow.
The
Really?
American League Central team is a -125 favorite.
To come up with more wins. So let's play it out. How many wins do you need to win the Central? 82? 83?
Yeah.
85.
Yes.
85.
I think 85.
Well, then, yeah. Okay. If you think 85, then yes, because I think the last place team for the East winds up with 82, 83 wins, somewhere in that.
You think everybody, Perrault, you think everybody in the AL East is 500 or better?
I think at 500. I think they could be right there.
So
A game,
81, okay.
Yeah.
Game one way or the other.
Okay.
Which, listen, no more than 3 teams are going to make it out of that division. So, like, if you're the Red Sox and I have a make the playoffs, like, bet that for the season, Red Sox make the playoffs. I just need them to creep up, like, a little more. And it's so interesting with that extra wild card spot now, too, guys, because you don't really know. It's changed the way that these teams are approaching the fucking trade deadline. Like, we haven't seen much, right? And like some of them may just sit there and chill, think we can like sneak in. We'll make like our extra money, whether we're a first round exit or not.
Right.
And so that's why I think it's like kind of like such a snooze right now. But first half of the Major League Baseball season, huge dub in my eyes, all-star game and stuff, like whatever. But the new rules have made a massive difference. Like I could, like I know I'm going to be there tonight at what 7 o'clock and probably be out there at 9:15, 9:30, and then be able to watch U.S. Women's National Team. Like, let's go.
Right.
Is that the plan? That's the schedule for tonight? That's what you're doing?
Unless my wife would like me home earlier.
All right.
Dude, guys, I'm in the fucking doghouse now because I left our second dog out yesterday. I was going to test this out. Said, Georgia, I'm going to leave you out for a couple hours. I thought I Georgia-proofed the place. I came back. My wife has like 3 really nice pairs of shoes. One of them, Gucci shoes, close to $900. Again, this is like when she treats herself. She takes great care of her stuff. fucking destroyed.
Oh,
She was up my ass.
Oh no!
I don't blame her.
All day yesterday, dude. And I made the massive mistake. And as a veteran in the relationship business, I said, I think you're overreacting.
Oh no!
Bro,
Oh no!
She fucking calls me from like an edit pay at her station that she works at, and it's like,
Oh no!
What the fuck do you mean I'm
Oh.
overreacting? I said, hey, listen, I'm emotional too. I may have said the wrong thing.
Sorry. Duck and cover. Abort.
Yeah,
My
this
friend,
is
we always
not good.
we love having you, my friend. Thank you for doing this. We
Have fun
appreciate
tonight.
it. We look forward to seeing you again soon, right?
Yep, I'll see you in September. All right.
Little
Oh, yeah.
trap
Are we going to
shot.
do this
Little
show
trap
from like
shot.
a pool so I can be shirtless?
Oh, maybe.
Of course.
We'll see. It's Boston though. It'll rain.
Pull it off.
It'll rain.
It'll
so,
rain, but
yeah.
I look good when I'm wet.
Oh,
All right.
goodbye. My goodness
What a
gracious.
sick son of a.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right.
Let's.
It is a roll call Friday. I know you guys have been waiting patiently.
Yep, we got to put the area
Just-
codes where you're from right now. Area code city, ideally. So 412 Pittsburgh, 617 Boston, 702 Las Vegas. Put them in there right now. I can't believe Emerson said you're overreacting. That's not a veteran move at all.
That's a duck and cover move.
That's like that's almost a oh my
Rookie.
God, the dog ate your shoes. I gotta get the size of the shoes, get to the store and get the replacements before anything could even happen, right?
I mean, there's not a real comparison from a guy perspective other than like a piece of memorabilia and or like a rookie card or something.
Oh
like,
God, don't even say that.
you know what I mean? Like guys don't really have that type of thing that you would, if it gets destroyed by an animal, you would lose your mind. But like $900 shoes chewed up like that, you can't say you're overreacting. You just gotta let them get through it.
Yeah, what about your pink and black Jordans? Like those can't be replaced, can they?
Yes, they can be replaced. It's not really comparable, but okay. I mean, price wise, those are almost 9 times more expensive than those shoes ran me. So it's not, those shoes are like $150 versus $900 for a pair of shoes. But yes, I understand the Jordans. I understand guys have shoes that are important, but like, I don't know. There's not really. Would you ever pay $900 for a pair of shoes?
No.
Right. So like we just don't do that at all. But
I mean, I've treated myself occasionally to some exorbitant things, like very rarely, but like the first suit I ever bought, my mom took me to buy. It was a Donna Karan suit.
Okay.
I didn't have no money. And she's like, you're buying a nice suit. We were at a very nice place, downtown Pittsburgh, Oxford Center.
Nice.
In his store. And it was $1,000 suit.
Wow.
And I was like, Mom, like it's the nicest suit I ever wore in my life. Still have it. Still have it. Oh yeah.
Nice.
They made it perfect.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
I kind of walked right into it and it didn't need much work. I was in pretty good shape and but I wore that suit for 25 years. It doesn't fit perfectly right now.
Right.
But
long time ago.
That was one of those things that like I would never get rid of that. So
Right.
like $900 shoes you would never get rid of unless the dog ate it.
Right. I mean, I like to buy experiences. So
Yeah.
I have spent that much or more on experiences.
Oh, it's Taylor
Yeah.
Swift. I mean,
Yeah.
it's experience.
Yeah. So that ran me way more than that.
It's
So
insane.
like those things I will go and do, but those are memories that just don't go away. Those are just
No.
things you can't have a dog chew those things and spit it out. So the good thing about that, but I get the point though about, treating yourself and wanting to reward yourself. I mean, there's been times that I've done that. And I mean, I tend to do that with cars, in terms of like, I'll get a car that I like, I'll lease a car that I like or whatever. So there's things like that, but it is it's a moment that you just have to let the emotions blow over and then you can talk about it rationally.
Yeah.
But you can't kill the dog, right? You can't yell at the dog. It's Emerson's fault. It's the dog's fault, but it's Emerson's fault because Emerson left the dog out. So you want to kill somebody.
I think he's still watching the show. Emerson, it is your fault. I mean, Perrault is right. It's not personal. I'm glad you two worked it out.
But it is true. I mean, she's right to be angry, but she wants to be mad at the dog, not him. But she has to be mad at him because he's protecting his dog, and he's saying, "Hey, she didn't know," and but then the wife will say, "Well, you should have known. It's your job to know." And then it's
easier just to go. I mean, get it,
duck and cover.
Just go get another pair of shoes. Go replace the shoes. So that's. I mean, it hurts.
You double the investment.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, like it's your fault. It's the dog's fault, but it's your fault.
But it's your money, though. It's a.
I know, but you got to
marriage, so it's both of your money. So her bank account takes the hit as well for his mistake.
That's fine. Roll call Friday. Let's do it. Sonic 602 in the Phoenix. Francisco Ochoa 760 Escondido, California.
What's up?
JPC 4th 313 Detroit. Bear Mauling 702 via the 989 baby.
By the way,
843.
Hold on, Emerson just said, "Be right back. Gonna go dig my grave."
Thank you. He's right. I mean, seriously, go get the damn shoes. He's going to the Red Sox game, and then he's going to go out and watch the soccer game. I mean, it's a smart move to stay off the radar, but while you're out, come home with the shoes. Big Daddy E, if you know what I'm saying. 705, Zach the Hat. 704, Charlotte D. Wheezy. Mr. C, Big C, Chris Covey in the 843, Charleston, South Carolina. Addison, 812, B-Town. Geo the Wop is in 949, Newport Beach. We got Michael Callow with a K. Michael Callow, 319, Burlington. Is that New England?
No, Vermont. Yeah. 319. Yep.
319. Okay.
My
Mikey
area.
That's where. Okay. Mikey Awesome 757 ODU Newport News, Virginia. Chris Otto 412 Pittsburgh, enjoying a Permani Brothers sandwich today on Roll Call Friday. That's one of the things that we do that's turned into so much fun because everybody meets here on Friday while we do the show and drops in. But on Friday morning on the Twitter at Boston versus the book, people start tagging us. Sonic usually starts it, puts a bunch of people in it, and then it starts to flow, and everybody posts a picture or something or comments with a GIF, or like JC from KC puts that video with the cheering and the BVB Brigade. Guys, you could do that on Friday mornings. You could do that every morning if you'd like, but Friday mornings makes it special.
It does.
I love it. It's fantastic. Pierre Chevalier is in the 613 Ottawa. We got Vinny Konowinski, 260 Fort Wayne, Indiana. Tim Hazinga, 616 Grand Rapids.
Nice.
Who is this? Mr. Freeze 32.
Do you know who Mr. Freeze is? Mr. Freeze is the latest customer of the Brigade Proxy Service.
Mr. Freeze.
Yes, he is coming to Vegas in the middle of August. We booked him this morning.
Damn, that's sweet. No, I did not know that. That's awesome. Okay, well, that's good to know. He's in Bristol, Indiana.
Coming to town in August.
Excellent. We'll see you then, sir. That's great. We'll see you right here every day between. Apparently, the new start time is working for everybody, so we're going to stick to this 10:15.
I love it.
Okay, relax.
That's I love it. This is great. 10:15 to 1:40, an hour and 45-minute show. Bang, boom, done. Good. Yes,
bang, boom, done. Good. That's it. 10:15.
Love it.
Meet here every day, Monday through Friday at 10:15. We may throw in the Twitter Spaces here and there, while we work all this out, and then we'll.
We weren't lying, by the way. We are working on a show in Boston. That's not a lie. That's true. We are putting that together. We're also putting together
people
shows.
Will come?
We're putting together shows. So just so you guys know, we're putting together shows in August. We're going to be out in August. We're going to be out in September, potentially. And then the Boston show, we're trying to figure out when, where, how. It'll be during the football season. At some point, we'll be coming to Boston to do something in Boston. Now, it could be other places too, but that one has got the most legs at the moment for us as we're putting things together.
Yeah.
And if you're a Boston company and you want to be a part of the event, email us, askthebbb@gmail.com.
Without a doubt.
We're all looking, we're going to be there, but we're looking for people who want to be a part of it. Obviously, Malalabe Cigars will be a part of it as well, but other people in the area if you're in New
Steve's going
England.
to make his debut. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
that'll be great.
Yeah,
Have him
Steve
down,
will
it'll be
definitely
fun.
make his debut. Johnny P, 702 Las Vegas via Florida, Miami, and back east in New Jersey, but he's here. Hugo Boss, 19601. Put in the zip code. That's the zip code, not the area code. I don't know where the 19601 is, Hugo, but thank you for being here. Jade Albets in the 410 St. Michael's, Maryland. JC from KC's in the 216 Cleveland, where it's currently 74 degrees. Thank you for putting the temperature.
Nice.
We didn't talk about too much of the temperature, but we do that every day too. Big Business is in the 361 Three Rivers, Texas. Matt and the Rangers are for real. He just won't. I mean, every single day.
I said it yesterday. He was watching us on Sports Grid. I saw him yesterday. He was tweeting about it yesterday, taking pictures, going, Matt said the Rangers are for real.
Thank you, Big
He heard
Business, for doing that, because you tweeted that and then Sports Grid retweeted your picture of us on the TV, which can only hope to add value to something at some point for somebody to know that they're watching the show. Sorry, did I say that out loud? It came right here, right to there. 705 Aurelia, Ontario, Aurelia. I said it right. Now I see phonetically, line of scrimmage, put it in there phonetically. It sounds like it's spelled. B2 Bartown, 719 Colorado Springs. Andy O, 864 Woodruff, South Carolina.
Oh,
how about that? I've never been. Didn't even know it existed until.
I've been to Woodruff, Virginia. Never been to Woodruff, South Carolina.
That's what it says.
Nice.
Thank you for being here, Andy O. Deuce Daly, 978 Lowell, Mass.
Hey,
another guy there. Andy
508.
Caston, recently of the 702 now. Good to see Andy. Billy Boley, 1341 is in 219 Cedar Lake, Indiana. Boy, these Indiana guys are representing. This is really good.
Big time.
We're going to have to go do a show there at some point.
I'm in.
Right,
Let's do it.
We're working on that too. Eron Sean, 703 Centerville, Virginia. Wow, Lamb Vu's in the 212 Manhattan, NYC, New York City. Okay. Santana, he's got highs 120 degrees today
Phoenix.
in the 928 Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah.
Stay in the shade down there, Santana. Thank you for being here watching the show.
Did
Chef
you
Benny?
hear? By the way,
What?
did you hear? There were 27 people taken to the hospital yesterday in Phoenix with burns from the pavement.
Dude, I
The
lived there
pavement
for
was
5 years.
180 degrees.
I'm telling you, my dad and mom came out to visit the first year. They came out in the summer, and my dad said, I'll wipe your windshield for you. And the car had been out.
Yeah.
So we stopped at the gas station, and he always liked to do it with the squeegee and then wipe it. He touched his hand on the strip,
the glass or the metal?
The metal.
Oh, the metal.
And he went, oh! And I was like, Dad, what's wrong? And it was red. Like we just stopped at the gas station after we left the mall, and it was sitting out all day. Stuff gets so hot there, Perrault. It's scary.
It really is. 180 degree temperature for the asphalt, sending people to the emergency room with burns.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. Forget that. Chef Benny, soon to be Papa Chef Benny, 401 Warwick, Rhode Island. John Serrett, the 304 Oak Hill, West Virginia. Rob Latva, 313 Detroit. Another guy, Roger Long, senior member Roger Long. I still owe you a phone call, sir. I'm going to do it on the landline. He's in the 765 Clinton, Indiana area. Raymaker back in the 412. Daniel O and the 989 Sagnasty. I don't even know what that is. I don't know where the Sagnasty is.
Probably Saginaw.
Oh, Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim Johnston, 319 Cedar Rapids,
Iowa.
John is in the 724 Greensburg, Pennsylvania. There's a place in Greensburg that put a casino in a mall, like you were talking about the other day about New Hampshire.
Yeah.
John has probably been there. I'm guessing John has been there. Let's go here. We got a couple more. Jim Gagne, 310 Silver Spring, Maryland.
Yeah,
Who's
very nice.
originally from the 603 New Hampshire.
Nice. He's a juice guy too.
Landon, Lile, Landon Illy. I forget how to say Landon's last name. Landon's the one that got the junior brigade member that brought birth into the world. He's in the 618 in Southern Illinois.
Beautiful.
Adam Pyatt 319, Iowa City. You gotta love Iowa. Do you really though? I mean, I'm not sure about that. Ali Akbar 716. Even though Dave skips me every time. I don't mean to skip you, Ali. I apologize.
Look at that.
I got you right now today on July 21st. Sam Licata 314 St. Louis. That's all I got right now, boys and girls. Thank you for being here. Perrault, back to you. Finish the rundown. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, very good. We'll skip a couple things so we went long with some people, so we'll go right into this. Well, Ohtani watch going into this game because he's playing your Pirates.
Yep.
Ohtani pitching today. He is a pretty big favorite. The total is 8, juice to the over. Ohtani games have been going over lately.
Yep.
Even though he's been very good. First 5 under, game goes over because the bullpens are bad. What was your Pirate video pick on this game today?
So I was limited to a couple things because the obvious answer is the Angels. They just swept the Yankees. And, they said, don't do us a favor. Don't come on and just pick against the home team and stuff. So I came up with Ribbies under for Ohtani tonight.
What was the
prop bet?
What was the number? 1.5?
Had to lay 180
to get to
no.
To not have an RBI.
To not have an RBI. Yes. And you'd be surprised at the RBI market price because, again, you have to get a hit or a sac fly. You have to have an opportunity in the game to hit with somebody on base in scoring position for the most part. I mean, you can always come up and hit a home run.
Is the a bigger plus than the home run?
A lot of times, yes. 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 The minuses for regular human beings, not guys named Shohei Ohtani, are minus 300.
Wow.
In the RBI situation. So the pluses are like +5, +6. So yes. Well, would you say talk it out? Would you say it's harder to get an RBI than hit a home run?
No, there's way more opportunities to get an RBI than there is a home run.
I don't know if there is. There's an opportunity to get a home run. At least if you have 4 at-bats, there's an opportunity to get a home run. All 4.
But a ground
there may be an opportunity to get an RBI only once in a game. 4 at-bats. Think it through, right?
Boy, that's tough because you can have a ground out that's an RBI.
Correct, but somebody got to be on base.
Right, so you need help.
You don't need help to hit a home run other than a pitcher giving you a pitch you can hit over the fence.
That's a very interesting market to create a number for.
Exactly. Huh. That's what you sit down and you do all that stuff. So I was going through it, and it's really helping me. I mean, doing the Pirate work is fun, and it's a good opportunity, but it's keeping me involved in a daily process of trying to come up with new things.
Right.
I'm doing because I'm creating content, but I'm being limited as to what I can and cannot talk about, which is a little bit frustrating for me because I like to talk about whatever I want to talk about. So I have to expand and try to look at these new markets. And I went down that rabbit hole this morning and went, oh boy, here we go. But this is Pirates and over. I mean, Angels and
over.
Oh, you like over. Okay.
I like over, but just because Ohtani games have been going over.
Right.
Orioles Rays game of the day. Rays win it. Orioles beat the Rays in overtime in extra innings last night, 4-3.
Yes.
Although the Rays had chances in the bottom of the 10th with 2 on and nobody out, and they couldn't get the tying run home. Eflin is 9-1 straight up at home.
Yep.
Only minus 144.
Yep.
Like the Rays today.
Yep.
Bounce
back. I mean, the price is right. The price is right. The Orioles hit when Bradish pitches.
They do.
And he gives up runs.
He does.
He's either all on or like it's going to be a minefield. And they're
although he's been very good in July.
Right.
He's been good in July.
Yeah.
Bradish has been good for the Orioles. Everything's been good in July.
I do. I like Tampa. That would be one I got to watch and see early if it's going to go over or under. That game swung 3 times yesterday.
I
mean,
like
that
the
was
team. I like
crazy.
team total tonight for that game.
Team total
Tampa.
under.
Over Tampa.
Oh, okay. All right. Makes sense. Yep.
It's 4.
Okay.
So it's a decent number. Rangers -120. Dodgers, arguably the game of the day, even though it's not a divisional game like Orioles Rays, which is for the division. This is interleague, but this could be a World Series preview.
Pretty excited to watch this one. This will be one I will keep an eye on. Will keep an eye on all weekend because the way the schedules match up, like this is the only time they're going to see each other.
Right.
And the only next time they can see each other is in the World Series. And I did say it, Big Business, Texas could be in the World Series. It's actually possible. Very true. Coin flip as far as the side. I think it's a dead over. Bet it or book it.
Over.
I'll ask you over 9.5.
Got it.
Yeah,
Dodgers,
I agree.
An over team, period, right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a tough time betting unders with the Dodgers just because of who the Dodgers are.
Right.
We get time to slide in one more before we let go of Sports Grid.
Yeah.
Okay, proxy service. We talked about the proxy service a little bit already, but you guys can text 702-751. Sorry, no, 702
520
570
570
8255.
We should put that up on the screen. 702-570-8255. I said it on Cash Considerations the other day, which is a new episode of that. I say it now when I can slide it in on the grid. There we go. Look, you did the big numbers too. Look at that print. That's a big one. Excellent work. 702-570-8255. What is the Brigade Proxy story today?
So this story comes from Patrick Mahomes, who decided to say that Kirk Cousins is the most underrated quarterback in the league, mostly because everyone now is in love with Kirk Cousins after his appearance on this Netflix show called Quarterback. Do you concur with this, that Kirk Cousins is the most underrated quarterback in the game?
No.
I don't agree with this at all.
Like, I mean, it's a nice thing to say. I appreciate what Patrick's doing, and like, that's fine. He probably is
a nice
underrated.
Guy. No, he's just a nice guy. People like him. He's just your neighborhood friendly dork. Like, that's what Kirk Cousins is. People like him. He's just harmless. So
it's not like he's overrated.
No,
right?
Some might say, I mean, Viking fans have been trying to tell me this for a bit, that the contract they gave him was a death sentence to the whole entire franchise.
The contract notwithstanding, Kirk Cousins is above average NFL quarterback. Yes or no?
No.
You put him below 15.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm picking quarterbacks, I would pick 15 guys before I'd pick Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
I mean, I think he gives you a chance to win more than he doesn't, right?
Well, is that the weapons he has? Is that the running game that he had? I mean, there's a lot of questions as to.
Well, we'll find out, right?
If you just had Kirk Cousins, can he carry you? I think most Vikings fans would say no, he can't. But now Rodgers is out of the division. So it's a big year for the Vikings.
They're not even favored. The Detroit Lions are favored to win the division.
That division might suck.
Somebody asked in the chat earlier, what if Jordan Love is good?
What if? It's a big if.
Our guy Ben Carey,
BC
up in Denver, he's been talking about the Bears like they're going to be better than they are.
I don't blame that conversation at all. I mean, Justin Fields might take a monster leap, and if he does, look out.
Chef Benny said that Kirk is top 15. I think he's 15 or better when I go through it, but we'd have to do that and rank quarterbacks. And I'm not in fantasy leagues anymore, and I don't have to do that. So we're not doing that.
No, not doing that. I don't think Kirk Cousins is underrated. I think you can make a case for him being overrated. I don't think he's a top 15 quarterback. I just think he's a guy that people like to say nice things about. That's what they do. They just like saying nice things.
Patrick was doing.
He's a nice guy. Yes, I think he's a nice guy who's taken a lot of heat and a lot of criticism. People have been very mean to him.
Have you watched this thing yet?
I have not.
Okay, I have not watched it yet either. I have it queued up. I'll probably watch it this weekend. Gumpy told me I have to watch it. I'm talking to Gumpy.
I don't want to get Netflix. I kicked out Netflix about.
I know, and I don't think you'll be missing anything. But
Stranger Things. Once Stranger Things got off Netflix,
Right.
I was like, okay, I'm done. I canceled it. I was done. I was like, I'll get it back later because there's so much garbage on Netflix. It's such a waste of money in my mind. It's just not. It does not justify.
It does not. Francisco Ochoa just came in and said he's a top 8 fantasy QB, top 15 overall.
Don't care about fantasy, by the way, guys. Just FYI,
he can't win a big game. That's the label.
That's a pretty big problem. That's a pretty damn big problem.
And nowadays, once that gets on you, that's a hard stigma to get off you. You know, once you get that, I don't know what's going to like. Was winning the division, is that going to do it for the Vikings? But he's got to do more than that, right? We got
100%.
We got to win a division and we got to win the home game.
Yeah, we got to make a noise. We got to make a run. Sports Grid, thank you guys. We appreciate it. Have a phenomenal week. We're back with a new show coming up on Monday for you guys who are live on YouTube and on Twitter. Bonus time. All right, we'll go right into this because we can just kind of keep it all rolling here with the college football schedule of the day today being LSU, as we're going to take a look at this today. Over under 9.5 wins, juice to the over for LSU. So let's put the schedule up here for LSU as to what they will look like coming up this year. LSU.
By the way, I did this a little bit with Carver and Lacey. We've been doing this on the radio at night on the Sports Grid radio.
Did LSU?
XM.
Okay.
Lacey said they're in the national championship game.
He's not wrong.
I want to have Joe on at some point. Joe's writing previews like Phil.
Yeah.
He went deep.
Yeah.
He just prefaced this with, this is the team to beat.
Look, I bet over 9.5 wins for Penn State. This will be my second bet. Over 9.5 wins for LSU.
Okay, go.
Okay, so I think they beat Florida State out of the gate.
I don't know.
I think they do. Okay. I think they'll beat Florida State out of the gate.
All right.
Neutral field game. I think there'll be more LSU fans there than Florida State fans, but it will be a lot. Seminoles will go. I just think it's a little bit too quick for Florida State to come up to this level where LSU is going to be offensively and where they're going to be defensively. And then there's nothing on that schedule that worries me until Alabama, and they have the bye week before it, all the way down on the 4th of September.
At Ole Miss?
Doesn't bother me. Nope. Auburn at home.
The Arkansas game can't catch them?
Doesn't bother me. They're at home. Nope.
I mean, they win at Mississippi State. I don't think
there's nothing on that schedule that worries me.
Destroy Missouri.
Yep. They run through this schedule. If they get past Florida State, they will be undefeated going to Alabama, and we'll see if Bama is undefeated or one loss. And that game is for the West. That's the SEC West championship game.
So they're 8-0 going to that game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they need to beat one of the next 4 to get, or have two wins. Florida, Georgia State, A&M. And I think
Georgia State, that's 9.
Okay. So then they need to beat Florida at home, which they should do. And there's 10. And the Aggie game doesn't matter.
And he was adamant that Texas A&M is going to have a backwards down year. Like,
wow.
And there's a lot of people.
Jimbo might not survive that. If that happens, Jimbo Fisher may not be there.
Oh,
got a monster buyout, but they're not happy with him at the moment in College Station. 10-2 LSU.
That's the number. I think at minimum, it's 9.
Right. So that's
like
why.
There's no. It's the bottom. Just looking at the schedule,
they would have to lose to Florida State, lose to Alabama, and then trip up on the road against one of these teams in the SEC.
One of those other teams, yeah. But that still will get some 9 with with 3 losses.
But
8-4 is not even a pot. I wouldn't even.
No.
I would. I mean, if it was 8, it's over. Like the minimum they win is 9.
Yeah,
going through this right now.
Yeah, and if he likes him in the championship game, they got to win the West. So meaning they got to run the table in the SEC. They can lose the first game and then wind up 11-1.
I love looking at these schedules where like the way this works out. From October 14th on, You see this, right? It's all home games except the Alabama game.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If they beat Alabama, those are going to be insane home night games or whatever they switch it to. It's going to be like that. They're going.
Yeah, they'll be a top 5 team. The Baton Rouge Bengals are going to be bumping in Baton Rouge. It's going to be fun as hell. Our friend Matt Brown in Vincent's going to spend half his life in Baton Rouge. He's going to go back home to go watch his Tigers this season. This could be a special year for Brian Kelly.
Oh my.
It's not impossible for that to happen. It's not impossible.
Okay.
I like
over
9.5. I like over. I think it's a very, very real possibility.
What was the juice? Minus 130?
Minus 130. Yep.
Okay.
And you can shop that a little bit too.
Crazy.
One quick thing before we get to Bet It or Book It. I just want to put this up because I think this is really, really fascinating. If you look at California air travel in 2022 was up 48% to Las Vegas.
A lot of people coming here for weekend work.
I mean, weekend work?
No, I'm talking a different kind of work.
Oh, you think that's why?
There's a lot of industry people that come here for 4 days at a time. You know what I'm saying?
What's that called? The Stripper Express? What's that? What's that called? That's called, right? Is that what it's called? What's that Thursday morning flight and Sunday night flight, right? On Southwest? They call it the Stripper Express, right? Am I right?
Yep.
Wow.
Coming east and then flying west. Yeah. Business is booming, apparently. I'm not talking about just, the F1 race and the Super Bowl. There's a lot of people prepping for a lot of things. They've been coming and going. So, yeah, there's been a lot of, and they ain't driving because the traffic sucks.
It does.
That 15 sucks.
It does. That's such an interesting thought. Because here am I thinking like tourism, and then you point out the reality, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. That's what that is.
They're just saying, the hell with it. If you book it enough in advance, it's cheaper. It's less time.
Right. Frequent flyer
for the gas. You don't got to.
I mean that flight from John Wayne to Vegas,
the best,
is legit like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing. Like you sit down, you go up, you're there. Like it's done. 2 seconds, not even a blink of an eye. You can't even take a nap.
Nope. Yeah. So when you put that in the rundown, I was like, oh, I got to read this, but I know just talking to people,
right?
Because I'm out and about in the books and I'm talking to people and this and that. They don't stay around for the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday slow crowd that much anymore. A lot of the people that work here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, when you say work, I mean,
listen, there's a lot of industries. A lot of industries is all I'm saying.
Okay. Just so we know.
Title shots, paid title shots.
I'm so
answers.
I'm so good with I'm good with certain things, and I'm so not good with other things. Like that part of Vegas, like I wouldn't even know where to start to look. Like,
oh, you believe me, you're looking good. We could go today and get you a lunchtime title shot very easily, Perrault.
It's so wild. This is so not on my radar screen, and I so don't even know where. Other things I know where to look. Other things I can find all sorts of other things in Vegas. That stuff, like someone asked me like where to go. I'm like, I don't know. Like I have no idea where even. I guess go on the strip and get one of those click clack guys to hand you a card. Like that would be.
No, you don't do that. You never take the click clack card. No,
those guys are scary.
Mr. C just came in and said he knows strippers in LA that go to Vegas for the weekend. He knows them.
There you go.
How do you know them, Mr. C?
Stripper Express. Oh, they're good personalities. Come on.
Always.
It's always about the personality.
Fantastic names. They always have great personalities. Absolutely.
So the person that was complaining about that transition, you can go fly a kite for like.
Whoa!
Yeah.
We're on BBB bonus time. You can tell them how you really feel.
So I just said, go fly a fucking kite. I don't care. I don't care. I said, go. I don't give a fuck what the transitions are. I don't care, dude. I like what Sonic did.
Do
Sorry.
the voice.
I don't know what the guy's. I can't do the voice because I don't know if he's a geek or not. I just think he's a stick in the mud. I think he just doesn't like fun. Fun haters,
Well, apparently, I've been told. I've been.
It's loud on a fucking purpose. It's loud for a reason.
Exactly. I think it's great. I've actually listened to the show, just the audio version while driving. Right. It puts you back in focus. It's a hard transition. It's like bam.
Wakes you up. What's that? Ooh, what's going on? For Emerson, this was done before I knew he was going to the game, but I like the Red Sox tonight on the money line to beat the Mets here tonight. Crawford's won his last 3 starts for the Red Sox. Senga has lost 4 of 5 for the Mets. Betting it or booking it?
Red Sox at home are an over team, right?
They are.
Because I'm leaning under when I looked at it this morning, and I got to wait. I'll do a little more baseball work later, but I like the Red Sox. So, but I'm thinking the over's supposed to be the play, which I hate when I cross the streams with the home team and then the over. Like, well, it's home team and under, but
yeah, but the Rays are a home team and over, and you like them today,
right?
So, Tampa team total over 4.
I like that. I think bet that. Yeah, minus 130.
Yeah, a little juicy.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, we pushed that total yesterday with the first 5. I had 4, and it pushed. Got some late runs too by. Couple bad mistakes by Tampa to cause those runs in Baltimore.
They're in deep. I mean, there's a lot of real. I mean, it's sound the alarm. Tampa time.
Relax.
Oh,
these things happen. Just go through these stretches. I mean, they got to. I think they got to win 2 of 4.
They're 20 and 22 over the last 42 games.
This happens. You can't maintain the pace they were playing on.
True, I agree with that.
So
you're losing.
I like this.
Swept by the Phillies. You're getting beat by the Orioles. Like this is.
Yeah.
Your home record was the best in baseball, and you're coming down to earth in a big way. Thud on this. So I started 1-0 today. Matthew Fitzpatrick, thank you for that triple bogey on 17. You saved my bet. I appreciate that. Spieth, second round, defeated Matthew Fitzpatrick. I like that a lot. So when we come back on Monday, who is winning the Open Championship? Who do you like today on a Friday?
I haven't looked
at all.
I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm pulling.
Did Harmon?
Hard.
Is Harmon hold on?
No, not even close.
Whoa.
Relax. No. Harmon is not winning this thing. No. No. That is not happening. He's at 10. I put it this way: if he's in the top 5, I'll be surprised. I think
10 under.
I know.
Kendall just sent me a direct text.
Okay.
She said the transitions are mid.
Yeah, it's okay, Kendall.
I mean, you're still an associate producer. You're not even on the payroll. You're texting. Okay. What are you doing? Make your own.
There you go.
Put your hat, throw your hat in a ring.
There you go.
And then offer it.
Yes. Help out. Come on in.
She just said the transitions are a goddamn jump scare.
Good. That's the whole point of them. That's what they are. That's absolutely. Thank you. You confirmed the point of them. That's the point of them. Yes. That's the point of them. 100%. That's the point. To scare you. It's phenomenal. It's great. Favorite thing about today is what?
It might be her text right now. It said the transitions are a jump scare.
It's good.
No, while we were doing the show, I got a text from Meadowlands Rob.
All right.
Who is here.
Nice.
And said he's staying down there on the strip. And he went to the book to bet over the counter that a couple prop bets that he normally can just go on an app back east and do.
Nope.
And he got someone at the counter who could care less about his prop bets and apps, and he got frustrated. So he sent me a text. Where do I bet this? I said, just go to the kiosk or tell them you want to open an account and do it yourself. It's an unfortunate part of the business. We got to talk to Jay Buck while he was here. Jay Buck works at the counter. I was a guy that worked at the counter, and I cared about every person that came up there getting the bet that they wanted. Unfortunately, you don't get that everywhere. So, but he's here in town and said, let's try to get together. So we may have somebody else to sign up for the
Beautiful.
process on a
Beautiful.
slow weekend.
It's
The
going
other
to be
favorite thing about today is Otani's pitching against the Pirates, and
That's
I can't
fun.
wait
Yeah.
to watch it. And I'm still trying to get Kendall to get in the car with me and go. She won't do it.
Wow. I'm on Sports Grid like way too much the next 4 days.
Yeah.
So it's today, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So you'll see a lot of me working with Sports Grid over the next 4 days. But at some point, I need to go see Oppenheimer because not often do I hear the people read the reviews and then talk to someone who saw it and they're like, yup, this is the movie of the summer. Need to be seen. You guys can go see Barbie. Barbie is 100% a movie I will put on a Sunday afternoon somewhere on Netflix or something. I don't need to see it in the theater, but I will this weekend go see Oppenheimer. So I am looking forward to trying to find a time. I've not done the movie solo thing in a while. Never done the matinee. Need to find a theater that's got an IMAX big screen with nobody in it, which might be difficult in the opening weekend for Oppenheimer, I understand. But it's a good place to go get out of the heat and have a good time and see what everyone is saying is a movie of the summer. So looking forward to going ahead and doing that coming up for this summer, for this weekend. We're back on Monday. If you guys haven't liked, subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do. We're driving those numbers up. If you have any questions, like I mentioned, go ahead and do that. Send us a question, ask the BBB at gmail.com. Send us an email. We'll walk you through what's happening. Nothing crazy. It's all subtle, but there are some changes happening with us. And we obviously want to bring the brigade along with us as we continue to grow here as we head towards football season. A lot of big things coming down the pike, cool things, big announcements, and a lot of fun. August will be a very fun month for us and hopefully you guys as well, joining us for some of these cool things we got coming down the pike. He's Dave. I'm Matt. Monday back for BBB.